From Eyewitness News, this is the Tarbox Toyota Hyundai Friday Night Football Wrap.
Welcome in to week 4 of the high school football wrap with Mark Dondero. I'm Yianni. Kourakis. A lot of rain tonight. I was in Johnston and Warwick. It was pretty wet. You were where?
I was in Lincoln and Cumberland.
Pretty
it was
wet
soggy there too.
But we got all the highlights. We have 14 area games coming up, including 11 from the state of Rhode Island. 4
in Massachusetts as well. But let's get started with the game of the week. Undefeated South Kingstown at that Cumberland game I just mentioned. 4-0 SK, very good. And it was the salute to service game. Both teams wearing special jerseys. SK off to a fast start. Huge punt return here. Gets them all the way down to the 1-yard line. And that set things up nicely for Franklin Smith, who plunges ahead for the 1-yard score, 7-zip Rebs. And it wasn't just the O for SK. Mason Duran laying wood. Woo! That just is blown up. Let's watch it again and again and one more time. Mason Duran, nice hit, nice win for SK, 34-14 over Cumberland.
All right, the Patriot Zoo tough enough to brave out the elements tonight. Portsmouth hosting East Providence, coming to play early. Anthony Cottrell tackle for a loss. Defense tough all night. Special teams also playing a big part. Punt snap gets away here. Matthew Ramos will corral the punter in the end zone. That's a safety. The second Patriot safety of the night. You need to get them on your defense and your fantasy team. Offense also playing a part too. John Coyne hands off to Ryan McDonald. He bursts through the line and has the end zone in sights. Portsmouth impressive, 38-0 over East Providence. Willie Edwards and Moses Brown playing at Johnston. Opening drive for the Panthers. Kyle Nelson back to throw. He is picked off by the Quakers' Jacob Witzak, and he'll take it down inside the Johnston red zone. That MB drive would end in a turnover, as would their next drive inside the 20. Adam Romano, trouble with the wet football. Juan Bonilla on the recovery for Johnston, but Romano would atone for the mistake. Rolling left, the former hometown hero finds Christos Argis. Moses Brown wins 21-0 over Johnston.
Rogers hosting Shea. Students showing love, sticking it out through the storm. First quarter, Shea up a touchdown. And on 3rd and 8, Yianni Duarte coming up big with the open field tackle. Big play. 2 drives later, Rogers faced with a 4th and 6 in the red zone as Tim Pratt finds Kiev Nance for the receiving touchdown to even the score at 7 apiece. Next Rogers possession, quarterback Pratt fakes the handoff, fakes out everyone. Ball ends up in the hands of Isaac Garcia, who plows through a huge hole up the middle to take it all the way to the house for the score. Rogers comes back in this one to defeat Shea 20-13 the final.
That was a good one at a very soggy Paraso field. Tolman playing host to West Warwick. Second quarter, the Tigers attempting to punt. Ball sails through the hands of Roderick Gray. That's a safety. A lot of safeties tonight. 9-0 West Warwick. Later in the second quarter, the Wizards defense forces Tigers QB Terrell Whitaker out of the pocket. He is tackled for a big loss. Credit Jared Shibley on the play. Dave Cato in West Warwick, they beat his former team 23-0.
At Conley Stadium, the Central Knights were hosting Woonsocket, the Villanovans. First drive of the game, Central quarterback Christian Leo Pitchney goes right to Tyrone Silva, who evades a tackle and knifes his way into the end zone, 7-zip. Second quarter, the Novans punting from their own end zone, never good. Central's Tony Reeves stumbles, picks it up, makes a couple student athletes miss, and there he goes. As the Knights hold off the Villanovans, 13-8 is your final score.
Let's head down to Warwick. Pilgrim hosting Classical. Second half Patriots. Owen Kelly on the carry. Breaks through the line. He is headed to the end zone. 75 yards for the score. Oh, but wait. Holding offense. That will come back and change the dynamic of the game. The Pilgrim fans were not happy. I heard them. Classical takes advantage. Aronde James Washington with some room. He will get the purple down to the 2-yard line. Just 2 plays later, Aaron Tutu punches in the score. Classical wins 19-14.
Yianni, we should also mention that NK beat Westerly tonight 35-0. That game was actually played at East Greenwich, which was news to us. Now, let's get to some of the games that weren't played tonight.
Yes, 7 games postponed until tomorrow or Sunday, including some big ones in Division 1. Here they are. Hendricken at Barrington moved to tomorrow night, 7 p.m. The battle for Cranston, Sunday at 1 p.m. St. Ray's at Mount Hope, Saturday at 7. And Narragansett at East Greenwich, a Saturday matinee at 3:15. Other games with new times and dates include Coventry at Warwick Vets, Saturday at 5. Burrowville at North Providence, Saturday at 2:30. And Central Falls at Smithfield, Sunday at noon.
The Tarbox Toyota Hyundai Friday Night Football Wrap continues.
Welcome back to the show. Yianni, Kourakis, Mark Dondero. So, Yianni, we just saw a bunch of Division 1 and 2 games from Rhode Island. What was your biggest takeaway?
A big win for Dave Cato and West Warwick in Division 1. Portsmouth shutting out East Providence. They look like one of the top 3 or 4 teams in Division 1. Of course, LaSalle and Hendricken probably the favorites. Hendricken plays tomorrow. LaSalle is idle. And my alma mater, SK, remain undefeated. You were at that game. What did you think of the Rebels?
Yeah, they look great. That hit was my biggest takeaway. But the problem was I had a bunch of fans talking to me, getting in my ear about why there's not more alums there like Yianni Kourakis and why I was at the game. So everybody in SK is mad at you.
Blame the schedule maker.
That's fine. Other than that, let's go to some of the rest of the highlights that we're going to talk about here in Division 3 and 4 from the state of Rhode Island. Wind and rain, a huge factor in Middletown as Tollgate hits the road. This one was good. Titans down 20-12 to open the second half, and on the 4th and 3 play, Anthony Calisi makes a huge stop in the backfield, and that helps the takeover on downs occur. Next Tollgate drive, Titans Anthony Van drops back, unloads it deep. The wobbly pass somehow lands in the hands of Alex Mowry for the long gain, but after a few penalties, they got pushed back, and then it's Van again trying to go to the well one more time, and it doesn't work. He's picked off by Harry Quinones. So that should seal the win for Middletown, right? Well, no. Middletown trying to drain the clock, but Michael Chechi loses the handoff in the backfield, and it is scooped up all the way for the touchdown. That would force overtime, and it would be eventually 26-20, Tollgate winning it in overtime. It was Jake Stakurski, scoop and score there to force overtime. Huge win for Tollgate.
Mount Pleasant with the long trip to Chariho. Start with the Kilties' Anthony Apina. He's going to break one tackle and then break another one. Big yardage for Apina as he gets into Chariho territory. Here come the Chargers. Dominic Syringione dumps it off to DeAndre Wilson. Wilson, nice tackle by the Kilties. Jaquan Lawrence. Lawrence was a pest all night on defense. Chariho offense held at bay. Mount Pleasant wins 22-0.
The Lincoln cheerleaders unsure what to do with the spur-of-the-moment airtime as the Lions hosted Pontiac. And if you were looking for a high-flying aerial attack, this was not your ballgame. Almost all wildcat for Lincoln. That was Mason Pineda with the run there, and then it was Nathan Fay doing the honors for Lincoln from 12 yards out as the Lions would go on to roll 28-8 over Pontiac at home.
That wraps up things in the Ocean State. Let's head to the Bay State. The Taunton cheerleaders with pink pom-poms celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Tigers hosting Attleboro. Blue Bombardier defense came to play. Kyle Murphy, the throwdown. That's a 5-yard loss, and Attleboro had plenty of offense. Tyler McGovern hands it to John Dunn. John with a quick little cut there, and he is off. That's a done deal. Finally dragged out inside the red zone. A little more from him right here. Punches in the touchdown. Attleboro gets the victory over Taunton, 41-6.
The Indians of Dartmouth looking to even their record at 2-2 as they visited Durfee, facing a 3rd and long. Cole Jacobson screen pass to Chris Martin. Chris gets the first down and plenty more, scooting by the defenders. He was eventually dragged down inside the 10. A few plays later, Dartmouth at the goal line. They go for it on 4th and goal. Jacobson hands off to Marquise Adams, and he finds pay dirt. After the defense held the Hilltoppers, offense strikes again. Jacobson to Martin. Some nice cuts inside. Woo. Look at the moves. He lights up the scoreboard. Dartmouth tops Durfee 41-12.
Chris Martin, is that the Coldplay guy?
Might be.
Wet weather.
Yes, it is, Tony. Yes,
Tony
it is.
Says yes. Here we go to Somerset Umbrellas barely holding on to the sideline. Blue Raiders hosting Coyle Cassidy, home team up. They were looking to add to it. Justin Duarte hands it off to Nate Holt, gets on the outside, and he just kept going. Big gainer, then Duarte back to Kyle Crombie. Watch the patience and the exact right cut. Kyle, a TD machine so far this season. Blue Raiders blank Coyle and Cassidy. 30-0 is the final.
Blankets and umbrellas, a must tonight. Cougars of Bishop Conley visiting Bristol Plymouth. Conley defense tough all night. Low snap means a host of defenders take down the QB for a loss. Josh Ortiz and Cameron Reese among the many. Offense in gear in the rain. Kevin Sullivan calls a QB sweep. Good idea. He gets to the pylon just short of the end zone, but no worries. He finishes the drive in style. Cougars shut out Bristol Plymouth 35-0.